What we're going to talk about today is kind of a continuation of what we discussed last night. And to demonstrate some of the stuff that we have here, I made a clock on the ground that we used at a lot of the schools that we taught down at Doral. The idea of the clock concept should help give you just a little bit of a general idea for the pattern that we like to have in the golf swing. The thing that most amateurs do when they're swinging here is, you know, we talked about, was the over-the-top swing, all right, which causes the slice. This line down the middle here that points at 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock would ideally be my target line, or a straight line to the target. But what I like to see is that the club actually comes a little bit from 7 o'clock and goes a little more out to 1. That gets the arms kind of extending through impact instead of pulling across the body. All right? Now, some of the stuff we discussed last night, we're going to go through today so that I take you through it and I show you kind of what my process is for learning how to understand what my ball flight is and what it is I'm trying to accomplish. The first thing, if we thought about last night, I had the train track lines down. I'm going to just use these sticks for a minute. All right. And I said to you, this was a good place for every player to start from, right? So if I came in here, got my club square to this line, to the target line, and my feet parallel to my stance line, all right, I'd be in a pretty good position to start my golf swing. Now, I'm not going through the setup basics or anything that we discussed last night, but obviously that's part of my process. All right. Now, I keep using the word process. The one thing that I notice when I watch amateurs practice is that they have no particular purpose in mind when they're practicing. It's just a constant pull a ball in, hit somewhere out there. I think I'm aiming at my target. So we get kind of machine gun golf on the driving range. Pull a ball in, step in, hit it. Okay, that wasn't good. Pull a ball in, step in, hit it. Maybe that one was a little bit better. So you go through a bucket of about 40 balls, and then you go, man, I practiced. I don't know what I did or what I learned from that practice session, but I hit 40 golf balls. So what I encourage a lot of people to do is slow that process down a little bit. In my mind, it would be better if you hit 20 golf balls utilizing your pre-shot routine, where you came back here, got a sense of, you know, where your target is, and went through the process of coming in and aligning the club face and then taking your stance and playing the shot. The reason is that when we go out in that rapid fire mentality and practice, you might have a 7-iron or a 5-iron or even a driver or something, and you're just hitting. But that's not the way you practice, that's not the way you play golf. So what happens is you're training a practice mentality on the range to just pull in and hit. And then you go out on the golf course and all of a sudden, you know, there's a tree, there's a bunker, there's a pond, there's out of bounds, and now your brain is trying to process all that information. And basically your brain is saying, this isn't how we practiced. You know, when I was out there and it was just kind of this nice big field, it was pretty easy. I could get into a groove. I get onto the golf course and all of a sudden the tension level increases because now you're forced to perform, and you're really telling your mind, now we have to perform in a different way, and it makes it a lot harder for your brain to kind of wrap around the idea that we're going to do the same thing we did on the driving range. So what we're going to talk about first, I'm going to get rid of that one for a second, is the idea that I shared with you last night was there were several ways that we could start out and execute a golf shot.